Hello and welcome to AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast. We got a very special guest with us today, William Johnson, known in the Valley as Coach BJ. Coach BJ, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. We love to highlight, hardworking, talented high school and college softball players and coaches. You definitely fit the bill for hardworking. You definitely you're all over this sport. You coach, you train. You work. You're a softball entrepreneur. I love it.
Yeah.
And we got some things to talk about. I want to talk about Around the Dirt. I want to talk about recruit sheets. I want to talk about your Stronger, Faster, Smarter facility. Love to talk about your park car confessions. I love them. I love them. And then at the end here, what are your personal keys to success? I'm sure we'll probably figure them out as we go.
Yeah.
So to begin with, from what I understand, you have the SFS training facility.
Right.
It's kind of like Stronger, Faster, Smarter is the parent company, and under it you have three, like a triad where you have the training part, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Then you have Around the Dirt.
Yeah.
And then you have recruit sheets.
Right.
All right. So let's first start with the parent company.
Yeah.
What got you started that gave you that idea, the Stronger, Faster, Smarter training facility?
That's a good question. So how it started was I was jobless. I didn't have a job, right? I actually had sold a marketing agency and didn't have anything else to do. And my kids wanted to start playing softball. And so
you had no idea what you were getting into.
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And so we just started playing in the background, and they were like, "Dad, teach me how to hit." And I said, "I don't know anything about softball. I mean, obviously I played, but not softball. I played baseball. So, but I didn't know anything about softball at the time. And so I said, well, I don't know anything about softball. I'll take you to some softball gurus. So I took them to some softball gurus, and I saw what they were teaching female athletes. And I didn't like what they were teaching, right? I didn't know anything about softball at the time, but I knew what an athletic movement looked like. And I did not see athletic movements being taught. So I said, shoot, I'll teach you how to swing like I know how to swing, not like a baseball or softball player, but like an athlete. So we just started going to the backyard, and everybody has heard this story before, but I call my oldest daughter my sacrificial lamb because I messed her completely up. And what I realized during that time frame was it wasn't that she couldn't learn, I just didn't know how to teach. And so that's when I said, okay, I'm gonna put a pause on trying to teach you how to hit, and I'm gonna develop a process on how to swing. And so that process was called, or is called, SFS, a Stronger, Faster, Smarter way of how to swing. And it focuses on teaching kids between the age of 8 and 18 years old. And so after I started studying my swing, I started studying other swings that I liked. That's how we came up with this SFS philosophy. It's not a new way of swinging. It's just an easy way to understand how to swing for that particular demographic that we target.
And communication's everything. So
absolutely,
you can communicate a certain way, it might resonate and catch on quicker.
That's right. That's right. So, what started out as, just my two daughters, then we worked with a couple other girls in the neighborhood, and then it just snowballed from there.
Great. And then you eventually got to a facility.
Absolutely.
And then you realize, then you're there at the facility all the time.
Right.
So it probably kept the wheels going.
Yeah. Part of my marketing background was solving for pain points. And so that's, the first pain point that I saw was, recruit sheets. I was tasked with doing the profile sheets for one of my daughters, yes. Right? And when I was doing the profile sheets, I was like, this is a hot mess, right? There were so many things, and people that have done it, know the hot mess that goes into trying to manage the profile sheets, right? You've experienced that, right?
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving
from
parts.
One weekend to the next weekend,
right? And so I said, there's got to be a company out there that does profile sheets, a auto-generated profile sheet. And after doing all kinds of due diligence, I saw that there wasn't anybody doing it. So I said, what the heck? Let me try to develop it. So I started developing recruit sheets. and I apologize because before Recruit Sheets, we just started a online kind of the other pain point we saw prior to Recruit Sheets was there was no place that was a positive resource for softball. When I first came on board, there was a platform called 43 Feet. It was the go-to place in Arizona. Unfortunately, it started getting inundated with all kinds of bots and spam. And so I called 43 Feet because I knew the guy, and I said, hey, listen, let's figure out how we can do something together. I can help you. He didn't want to do anything, so I said, I'll just start a Facebook community page. And
That's
so
great.
we were the first Facebook community page in Arizona, and it just was me and a couple friends, and we were just posting positive things that were happening in the valley.
What was that called?
That's Around the Dirt.
That was called Around the
that
Dirt.
was called
So
Around the
right
Dirt.
off the bat, you got the
I
right
called it
name.
Around the Dirt, yeah. And so it just started a platform where it was just me and a couple friends, and eventually today we have over 8,000 people that log on a day to get all kinds of softball news.
Yeah, that's the man. You just dug in and you started it.
Yeah.
And then as you get going, you figure out I can make this pain point less painful, less
Right,
painful, less
right,
painful, and
right.
you got it to the point where you really have a really good thing going. You just went to the National Fast Pitch Coaching Association
Yes.
conference.
Yes.
That was in
It was in Dallas.
this year, and you had a booth there.
Yeah, we did.
And you brought Around the Dirt out to the community, softball
did.
community.
Yeah.
And what was the reception like?
Surprisingly, it was well received. I think anytime you solve for pain points, and in Arizona, we're actually lucky because not a lot of people across the country have an Around the Dirt type platform in their community, and they're just posting on Facebook or posting on Instagram, whatever platform, and trying to get the information. There's not a single source solution where they can get everything. So Arizona, we're a little spoiled, right?
Yeah.
And so all the other markets, we kept on hearing people say, can I be the ambassador in my market? Can I be the ambassador in my market to represent Around the Dirt? So
Around the Dirt, because you went to Recruit Sheets and we're going Around the Dirt, but we'll get back to Recruit Sheets.
Yeah.
So Around the Dirt, explain it to me like if I was a coach in, say, Minnesota, and how do I become an ambassador for Around the Dirt in Minnesota? What am I providing to the community with Around the Dirt?
Yeah, one of the things
Is that the way to ask it? That's the right question?
I don't know. Who knows? It's the infant stages of it.
Okay,
I don't know
good.
if it's the right way to ask it or not. But what we know is we want to provide a single source solution for all things bat and ball sports. What we know is when somebody moves from, let's say, I don't know, Florida to Arizona, right? When they move from Florida to Arizona, right now they're going on to the Facebook page and they're typing in, my kid is a 14U stud looking for the best team in Arizona. Who should I go to?
Yeah.
Right. And so now everybody chimes in. And so now you don't have to do that with Around the Dirt. What we have on Around the Dirt is we have a directory of every single team. So if you are a team, you're supposed to go onto Around the Dirt and then register your team. Now you're in the national directory. So if anybody is coming to the state of Arizona, your team will be listed by a filtration system. So if you're looking for a team in Arizona that's 14U, that's in the Phoenix area, that's an A classification, I now can have a list of every single team. Right. Same thing that goes for, let's say, trainers. Right. Your kid is looking for a new pitching coach. Right now, you have to go and ask, who knows the best pitching coach in the Valley? Well, now every trainer can go on to Around the Dirt and register themselves all for free. And now when a parent is looking for a pitching coach, catching coach, hitting coach, whatever it is, they can now find a list of every single specialty coach that's in the Valley.
Great. Now, what if I'm a college coach from Minnesota and I want to know, I don't want to let the local talent leave per se. Or no, let's just call it Arizona. I'm in Arizona. I'm a coach here, whether it's Embry-Riddle or GCU or U of A or ASU or Benedictine College. And I want to make sure that if there's Arizona talent, I got to at least have a shot at it. How does that help a college coach Around the Dirt locally here?
Yeah, so from a college standpoint, every college can now put all of their camps and clinics on the Around the Dirt calendar page. One of the big things, especially for small market schools, is they don't necessarily have a big following. Right. But now on the national calendar of events for this particular market, let's say our community colleges can put all their camps and clinics. Our NAIA schools can put all their camps and clinics, and it's on a national calendar. So if people aren't following you, they can see on the Around the Dirt national calendar what events are going to be happening in the upcoming weeks.
Oh, somebody from the Midwest say, I want to go out of school in the Southwest. They go Around the Dirt, Arizona. Oh, here's
Filter, right?
Here's the clinics. Here's the camps.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, good. All right. So from a parent, from a hitting coach, pitching coach, or from a college coach.
Absolutely. And there's also forums, right?
Forums,
so there's forums on there.
Parents talk about certain topics.
Absolutely. Whatever you want to talk about.
You got your rules of conduct, I imagine.
We do. We do. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that you probably,
it can get a little crazy in there. But all the directories, any type of event that you want, we have it. And this is just the beginning stages of it, right? We basically just took everything that's happening in the Facebook community forum and we brought it to a social platform that is now organized. Tryout season. When tryout season was happening, once you posted in our Facebook forum, it would get lost because 500 other people would put a tryout. Now every tryout will be listed. It will be listed by date. So okay, on Saturday, this is what's happening. On Sunday, this is what's happening.
Yep.
So
this organization,
absolutely.
Storm's having it this time. Exactly. Rising's having it this time. Exactly. Firecrackers this time. Athletics Mercado this time.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Great. Okay, so that's a good forum. So your feedback at the NFCA was one that was helpful.
Yeah, people want it. Listen, like anything, we have to create a really good marketing campaign that will continue to talk about what the platform is. What I would love is the support of the local market. And once we have the support of the local market to transition from our Facebook page to our web platform, everybody's going to love it. We have invested a lot of resources to make sure that Arizona is has a platform to be a leader within this space. And, we hope and pray that the people will see the benefit of it and transition from the Facebook group over to the web platform.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be successful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just like anything, think about Amazon.
Right.
If you go back to Amazon, what do you mean? I go buy books?
Right.
That's it.
Right.
What do you mean? What do you mean I don't go to the store?
Right.
Right.
How
long did it take for that to happen? It didn't happen overnight.
No.
And now everybody's like, buying the stuff on Amazon right now. I don't have to go and drive. I don't have to deal with traffic, and it'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Here's an even funnier story. When I remember about 7 years ago, I was at I think when Game Changer first came out, right? And there was a Game Changer rep that was trying to promote the new Game Changer platform, and I remember people walking by and saying, "This is the stupidest platform ever. Who would ever want to keep score on their phone? My phone's going to die."
Yeah.
Right? Look at it now.
That's great.
You couldn't see the future, right?
Yep.
And the thing that I say is, oftentimes when people, throw shade at platforms that you develop, God didn't give them your vision.
Amen.
Right? And so, when I look at things, I'm like, man, I've got that vision. Here's where I see the future going. And and it's up to me and the team that we have to continue to push the platforms to our community.
Yep, I think with any business, you start the business, you have your idea of how it's going to be,
right?
And then what happens is amazing things happen, and it goes off in a way that you never imagined.
Absolutely.
And it all of a sudden becomes crystal. Oh,
right.
Now this is the way we're going to go with it. But if you had not started it,
oh yeah,
if it would, there'd be no catalyst to get you to the next level.
Right.
So kudos to you for having the guts to start that up.
Thank you.
And going back to the recruit sheet, so bring that back in. It's a hot mess. The profile sheets. This player's not going to be here next week. We picked up a new player.
Right.
They want the GPA in there now.
Right.
And how do they contact them? How did that come about? How did you make it all?
Well, just like the pain point, right? I was in charge of it. I didn't like it. I went out, tried to build a platform. But shoot, you even know, I mean, from the beginning, I mean, it's evolved from the beginning, right? One of the biggest things that I had to do was just ask everybody, right? Well, what do you think? Oh, well, maybe you should add this. Okay, well, we'll add a little bit of that now.
Yep.
I mean, here, the good and the bad thing is everything costs money, right? Every time you have a developer touch it, it costs money, right? So you got to make sure that whatever that new feature is, it's really you're gonna get your return on investment, right? So
yeah, I know. I thought it was a great. I thought it was very innovating,
right?
And I love the part that if a coach, younger coaches were into the high tech, they could scan the QR code,
right?
And right then and there, the whole profile sheet would come up with all the players, list their GPA, how to get their, and if they click on their profile and they click on the X logo or the Sports Recruit logo or the Game Changer logo, it pushes them right to their account.
Right.
So it's all in one spot. I love that part about it. And now you added, if they're committed, you can put their logo on there. And it keeps evolving. Yeah. Now, what I found out was it didn't really save me paper because coaches still like to have it. So paper. It's okay. Let's give it, because you want to make it as easy as possible for these college coaches to be aware of the players that are playing on your club team.
Right.
So if they want paper, we'll give them paper. If they want the QR code, we'll give them the QR code.
Right.
But somehow get them access to those athletes. So while they're sitting there, watching the game, and now it's between the innings, they could quickly go somewhere. So I love it.
Right. Yeah. When kind of the pain point that we wanted to solve was, what we saw was there was a lot of really good resources that were off-site. Whether it was NCSA, whether it was Sports Recruits, right? Those are phenomenal off-site recruiting platforms. We wanted to have what's called an on-site. We wanted to develop a new space, on-site recruiting, right? And we're not necessarily recruiting agency.
On-site meaning when the coach is on-site, they're at the field.
Yes, right? Because off-site, they own that, right? But on-site is a space that hasn't really been touched. And so what we wanted to do is say, hey, listen, we're going to look at the on-site recruiting space and provide a platform that will connect every athlete to all other off-site recruiting platforms. Not every athlete is using Sports Recruit. Not every athlete is using NCSA, but every athlete can use Recruit Sheets, and then we can direct them to
whatever platform they're using. Whether it's X or Instagram or Game Changer, even whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we have some people that are using Game Changer, some people that are using Athletes Go Live. We're not going to restrict you. We have, the ability for you to put links to all of those platforms.
And links to your YouTube video if you have a YouTube video. Yeah, no, it's amazing. And I think as you're right, as recruiting coordinators, they're out there, coaches, as they're handing out the recruit sheet profile, if they have something to come back to talk to the coach, if they're not interrupting them, to say, hey, let me tell you a little bit about recruit sheets. And as they get more educated, I think it will grow and expand.
It will grow. Yeah, I agree.
It only experienced second summer. It just happened, right?
It just happened.
Second summer. And do you see a trend going where
we do see a growth, right? I mean, I don't know. There might be, a couple thousand players that are on the platform now.
Okay, good.
I know we have about 200 or 300 college coaches that are on the platform, and I might be a little conservative on that, but I mean, college coaches are liking it, and the more that we're getting these younger coaches that are coming, they do like the profiles on their phone, because you can still take notes on your phone.
You can take notes on the phone. Absolutely. Yeah, it lets you. Yep.
Yeah, but there are people that like the paper, so we're giving you both platforms.
Yep, I appreciate that. Yep. And so you have all those three things going,
right?
And then the latest thing that you have going, the Park Car Confessions. Okay, we're going to be right back. Let's take a break. I want to make sure that Brig with Polaris PT out there in Queen Creek, making athletes stronger, helping them recover from injuries, that he tells us a little bit about what he does. And thank you, Brig, for sponsoring us.
At Polaris PT and Wellness, we believe that movement is medicine. We believe that as an athlete, you should be performing at the highest level. And so we deliver performance-driven solutions to get you back out onto the field faster. So give us a call at 480-808-4995 or reach out to us through our website, www.polarisptphx.com, where movement is medicine.
back. Thanks, Brig, with Polaris PT out in Queen Creek. All right, last couple questions here. It's called Just Another Park Car Confession. First of all, I love your voice.
Thank you.
So you got a voice for radio, for TV, whatever. My wife says, "Hey, you got a face made for radio." I was like, "What? No, she didn't say that." Okay, so Just Another Park Car Confession. Now, I love these, and there's one that resonates with me the most. Well, you know what, Casey? Let's just, the producer, let's just play it, okay? So here it is, Just Another Park Car Confession, my favorite one so far.
Good morning, everyone. It's just another park car confession. I love when I hear athletes talk about current or former coaches, and you can see the positive impact that coach had on them. The way they light up and put that coach on a pedestal. Now that's incredible. But here's the thing. Those kinds of stories, they're far and few between. Unfortunately, most of the time, I hear negative stories about coaches. One that leaves me asking this big question. Do coaches really understand their purpose? At SFS, our motto is simple. Changing lives one swing at a time. And we live by that. Whether an athlete trains with us once or for years, one thing I know for sure, they'll never walk away saying we made them feel bad about themselves. Now, philosophies might be challenged, scheduling can get messy, but one thing will never happen here. Making an athlete feel less than they are. That's a non-negotiable. So, coaches, you head into this week, I want you to ask this to yourself. What do you want players to remember about you? Will they smile when they talk about you? Will you leave a positive impact in their life? Or will they work to wipe the memory of you completely from their minds? Every single interaction matters. You're not just coaching skills, you're shaping lives. So make it count. It's just another park car confession. We'll talk to you soon. Boom.
Yeah, so what I love about it is, man, it really resonated because it was happening during the MLB playoffs.
Right.
The Yankees.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even the World Series. And we all know what happened to the Yankees in the World Series this time, right? But I really loved it when you said these professionals making millions, they popped up. Well, this might be another park car confession, but to get the idea.
Yeah.
They made errors. They struck out. They popped up. And no coach loses his mind yelling at him. Nobody pulled anybody out.
Right.
And they just kept playing.
Yeah.
So that was amazing to me. Is like, and I wondered when I saw that, I was like, I wonder if that's resonating with me. I'm sure it's resonating with a lot more people. So can you see in your Instagram? I'm sure you can. Which ones get more views, and one? What was the reaction on that one?
Yeah, they all get. We have a pretty good following, so they all get a couple thousand views. I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6,000 views. But the main thing that I hear constantly, and especially being in this space, is I want my kid to be perfect. Why did they make an error? How come she pops up? And the majority of times you get this from people that have never played the sport.
Or any high-level sport.
Any high-level sport, right? And especially this sport. This is one of the hardest sports that you can ever play, right? And you've all heard it, right? Round ball, round bat. We want you to square it up, right? I mean, that is the hardest thing to do. Especially, you play on a pro level, right? On a pro level, you got, you have 60,000 people in the stands. You've got millions of people watching you. You get nervous at times. You get nervous. And when you go through a slump, I mean, listen, if you've ever played the game, you can attest to this. Sometimes when you're up in the box and you're about to hit, the ball looks like the size of a beach ball, right? You can't miss. I mean, you're hitting everything. And other times you get up to bat and the ball looks like the size of a grain of sand. I don't know why. It's just something happens in your head where it's different. And, that can happen at any level. Right. And so, a lot of times when I'm speaking on these park car confessions, I'm really speaking directly to somebody because they said something the day before or the week before. And but I think it resonates with everybody that follows our platform.
Yeah. And if you're at a softball tournament, club tournament, I love the intensity. I love the game. And if you're there all day, sometimes 2 days, all day, you see the gamut of it all. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right.
And what always I like most about it is these girls, how resilient they are.
Right.
And no matter what the situation is, you know, there they are the next day coming back at it, wanting more.
Right.
Because they really do love the sport.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love that you're shining a light on them. You're creating products where you're helping girls get recruited.
Right.
That's what we do here at AZ in the Circle as well. Is hey, let's give them a spotlight because they've definitely earned it.
Right.
Super.
Right.
Well, thank you for explaining that. You got any new ones coming up?
Oh, we've I always have new ones coming up. Let's see. I'll keep it a secret. No, just stay just follow us and you'll see what we have coming up.
All right, good. The last question here, what are your personal keys to success? Because well, one has got to be courage because you take a lot of shots at starting businesses, and I love that about
done.
you. You're done?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, there's no more. There's no more. That's it.
All right, so your keys to your personal success.
You know, the key to my personal success, you know, I do it for my children, right? You know, I share the story all the time, right? I mean, listen, I think from an entrepreneur standpoint, we don't have 401ks. We don't have, you know, especially when you don't have a backup plan, right? When you don't have, you know, family to support you financially, right? You've got to figure things out on your own. And oftentimes, you know, and I don't know, sometimes you think you have to leave things financially to your children. And I'm not sure if that's my motivation. I don't think it's necessarily what I want to leave for them. It's what I want to leave inside of them, right? I want to leave them, you know, if anything should happen to me. Yes, I want them to be, you know, happy financially, but I want them to have, to see their father that had a strong work ethic, that never said no, that was okay with failure, that was okay to, you know, brush negativity off their shoulders, right? And I think that's what I'm getting exposed to every day, right? Every day somebody has something negative to say, right? And if that's going to stop you, you're not dedicated to your passion. So, you know, for my kids, you know, hopefully that hard work, determination, and resilience, and never quit, never fail. That's what I want to, you know, leave for them.
Yeah. Amen. Those are great keys to success. You do that in any endeavor, you're going to be successful.
That's right.
Yeah. I always heard it's hard to get beat, right? If every time you get knocked down, you keep getting up one more time. So that's a great legacy to leave for your kids. Just keep working hard.
That's right.
So thanks, BJ, for coming out here.
Thank you.
That was an awesome show.
Absolutely.
And thank you guys for watching out there. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe. Please like us. Follow us on X at AZ in the Circle, on Instagram at AZ in the Circle, and YouTube as well at AZ in the Circle. Thank you again.